Goddamn.
Wow. Man, what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing here today on your cloudy, rather cloudy Chicago Friday here? How's everybody doing here today, man? We have had a some of my favorite weather the past couple days. Cloudy, rain, no
Really?
fucking sun. It's been nice.
Oh, I love it. Same.
Yes, it's been very nice. So usually I can't I can't necessarily deal with a lot of sun. It annoys me. It's too hot. Unless it's like summer and I'm feeling the summer vibe. The sun just yeah, killer some
I get
days,
that
bro.
though.
Yeah. I
Oh, I'm
do.
telling you, half the time it's hard to see you.
That's the thing, dude. That's the thing that gets me about the sun when I'm sitting there having to like squint my eyes because it's so fucking bright. It's just don't mind the sun necessarily, but when it's so hot where you gotta squint your eyes to just fucking see, ugh, it's the worst. What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing here today on your Friday for the news, man? This is episode 264. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing? If this is your first time watching, guys, you don't know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here with NHP Unscripted, and every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. If you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, Aleister Black makes his return to WWE. That is episode 240. I want to say one. Oh my god, I'm way off. 245. Good god. Episode 245 of Unscripted. That is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, like I said, join us right here after Monday Night Raw for NHP Unscripted, man. Also, with all of that, if this is your first time watching and you guys have not got a chance to pick up some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top description of this very video, where you can get this beautiful piece of NHP merchandise live on the merch shop there for you guys, man. Like I said, at the top of the description of this very video. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. So, Sir K, once and for all, tell us what you can possibly be smiling about today.
Well, not really much today, man. Logan mentions it in the comments, but GTA 6 was delayed. So really not much to smile about today, man. I'm here with you guys, but other than that, got hit with some pretty bad news this morning, including that, man, and then had the dentist. Used a little too much numbing on my mouth, so kinda gotta hide it behind my mic currently. But other than that, I'm doing good, man. Smiling because I'm here, man. But I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good, man. I am doing pretty good. So instead of just smiling today, Sir K is smiling and he's drooling. So Lord only knows what that could be
Damn near,
about.
dude.
But
They used way too much fucking numbing on like the back of my mouth, dude. It sucks.
wow. Do they let you have the little wand where you could like suck up all your drool with it?
Yeah, they put that in there. It wasn't bad during it, because I mean, during it, they're doing the work.
Right.
They just never numbed it so much to where my tongue was also numb too. That's how I knew
Oh, your
they
tongue's
used a
numb.
little too much.
Oh wow.
That like the left side of it, and I'm like so scared I'm gonna fucking bite it on the right side of my mouth.
Whoa. You got a lot going on, man.
I knew it was kind of a mess today. I can't lie. It was fine. It was a fine appointment, man. But damn,
He's
just a
drooling,
little
his
too much.
tongue's numb, he's biting shit. I don't know about this guy
I don't
anymore,
know.
man. I don't know about this guy. But um
I don't know if I
Yeah, dude. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Enjoying. Uh, honestly, so far this year, we're only in the first round, but pretty good, and pretty intriguing. Playoff basketball, normally my favorite time of year
That's
for
good.
sports. So the playoffs have been pretty good this year. There's been a lot of really good series, this year. Whether it's off the court antics with Giannis and what he's gonna do with the Bucks and fucking getting in Tyrese Halliburton's dad's face, um, bunch of other stuff, but bunch of other stuff. The series with the Clippers and the Nuggets has been really good. The Rockets and the Warriors is really good as well. It's funny seeing the old Warrior guys like Steph and Draymond battle a Rockets team, because the Rockets came very close to beating them once upon a time when they were in their prime. So it's funny to see a new crop of young guys, basically a completely new team, go up against the Warriors. Man, the Warriors are probably fucking sick of going to Houston. But no, it's been really good, man. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed it so far. And then today I so pretty late setting up the show.
Mhm.
So I finally got to land down around 6:45 ish. I open up my phone and I see a post from Overtime, the sports account, and
Oh, yeah.
it was about Grand Theft Auto 6. And I said, "Oh, it's probably a troll." I scroll up and there's a wrestling account that I follow, just posts random wrestling shit. He posts about GTA 6. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I
Yeah.
scroll one more time, and legitimately, the next post was another post. I think that was the one I ended up sending to you guys in the group chat. It was another fucking post about GTA 6, delayed until May 26th of 2026.
Literally over a year away, dude. Which I'm glad we have an exact date, which is good, but that exact date is fucking over a year away. God damn it. I thought 2025 was supposed to be the year, dude, of fucking so much stuff coming out and everything got delayed. No Batman, no fucking GTA 6. It's a
Yep.
mess.
They were supposed they Dude, was Batman supposed to come out this year, or were they supposed to start filming it this year?
I think it was originally before all the like the Hollywood strikes was supposed to come out this year. So it was
Wow.
one of the Avengers movies.
I was gonna say, I thought I what was it, Operation Doomsday or something, or no,
Yeah,
the Kang
the
Dynasty.
King that was supposed to
Yeah.
come out this year too. It was actually supposed to come out like 2 days ago, technically, and
Damn.
nothing. We got Sinners this year, and that's all we got apparently.
Well, at least we got that, I guess. But I'm
At
looking at
least we
this.
got that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this post, man, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. Legitimately, that sucks. There was supposed to be so much this year. We were, even looking at the wrestling side of things, bro. We were supposed to get our Mania in Minneapolis this year. We were supposed to get Avengers. We were supposed to get Batman. We were supposed to get all this GTA 6 and all this different shit. We get nothing. Like Turkey said, at least we got Sinners this year.
Thank
Um,
God.
but yeah, we got we got jack shit. We got jack shit this year, man. So um yeah. Definitely sucks. Definitely sucks, man. But I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, you know, if we can take one positive out of this whole thing, you already said it, but I guess at least we have a set date. Not to say that that can't get pushed back as well. Which if it does, I mean, at this point, just keep the fucking game. If they if if they said it back one more time, man. But I mean, like I said, I mean, if we could take one positive out of all that jazz, man, I mean, at least we got a set date now, at the very least.
Mhm.
However, it's over a year away, which kind of sucks. But if we honestly know anything from being wrestling fans, when Mania, especially with Triple H, we get in the habit of saying, "Oh, we have to wait till Mania next year for that," and then Mania next year, before you know it, ends up coming and going. So hopefully around this time
Yeah.
next year, everything's just, we go in from Mania, then Backlash, Double or Nothing. We have all this different type of shit. Um, before we know it, we'll be like, "Oh my god, GTA 6 is here," but probably won't be able to play GTA 6 straight away because it comes out Double or Nothing weekend. At least what's normally Double or Nothing weekend. So I'll probably
Well,
have to wait till sometime during the
comes out
week.
the Tuesday before Double or Nothing, so I'll probably be able to play it.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes it a little better. That makes it a little better, I guess. But yeah, man. So should be interesting to see, but hopefully, like I said, normally this is a busy kind of year, busy time of year, I mean. Normally it's a busy time of year, so next year again we'll probably have all these pay-per-views, and before we know it, GTA 6 will be upon us. But it definitely sucks. It definitely sucks. I was very excited for it, and they even had somebody, I think from Rockstar, in a conference call saying that it's still set to come out in the fall of 2025. So definitely sucks.
God damn.
Definitely sucks, but I guess I'm sure a lot of the other developers and stuff are happy about it because now they know when to release their game. Because I know nobody wanted to drop around the time GTA 6 dropped, so now I guess everybody has a set time. But Rockstar, never fucking do this again, please. Never
Please,
fucking make us wait
literally.
15 fucking years. We will have we will have had to have waited. We will have had to have waited 13 years. I was legitimately, uh,
13.
and Sir K as well. We were in 6th grade, which, how our school system worked, was the first year of junior high. It was the first year in a brand new school for us, and I legitimately remember the day GTA 6 or GTA 5 dropped, and I
Mhm.
legitimately remember standing outside of the 6th grade hallway waiting to be let into the school. Or the 6th grade sidewalk, I mean, the portion of the sidewalk that our grade had to stand on.
My 6th grade Christmas is when I got GTA 5, dude.
Fuck.
And I'm going to be 24 when that game comes with
Ooh.
GTA 6. We're going to be 24 years old when that fucking game comes out.
That's why
Ugh,
I always feel bad for the Red Dead community because they're always like, when are we gonna get a third Red Dead? And I always say to myself, well,
15 years, buddy.
I was gonna say, if it's any sort of if the timetable for GTA 6 is any indication, you will probably be getting that around. And I've heard they haven't even started anything on that yet, so you're probably looking at the late 2030s for your Red Dead 3. So, anyways, as Durante always asks, I'm good, family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, Hunter? Thank you guys so much for being here, as always. Thank you guys so much for being here, man. And how's everybody doing today? Welcome to another edition of the news. As we have quite a bit. Um, well, Bell, if I could give you any sort of advice, I would definitely give Sinners a watch. It was
You got
fucking
to.
awesome. It was fucking awesome. It really was, man.
It
I
was
mean, I you know I didn't even really, I wasn't even too aware. I was saying it last week. I wasn't even really too aware of it. This guy right here put me on, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch any trailers. I'm gonna just go into this movie open mind, clean sheet of paper. and I was fucking blown away. I was fired up at the end of that movie. That shit was so fucking good. um, I haven't been caught off guard by a movie that fucking good in a minute, man. But yeah, it was really 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 fucking good. Um, well, man. We're going to start you guys off with some WWE news today. Looks like we'll be ending with AEW. I think we have, what,
Oh,
3 AEW, 4 sort of AEW stories today. So we're going to start you guys off with the WWE stuff, as we got some news on, actually some just dropped. We got some just drop news as of last night. Let's see. Are we gonna see Thunderbolts?
I actually hear it's really good, better than I thought it would be.
I'm open to it. I'll probably go into that the same way I went into Sinners. I probably won't watch any trailers or anything. So if we do, that's probably how that will be done. But yeah. Understandable, Bell. I don't watch Vampire Diaries, but I'm sure my girlfriend would probably have a field day chatting with you about that. Um, also, I've been meaning to tell Belle. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about some sort of books. She read that series of books. I can't remember what it was called, but she did read this series of books that you were talking about.
I think
So
they all have Crown in it. I think those.
some. I'm sure I've bought many of them. I can't even tell you the name of them. However, okay. On to the WWE news. Starting off. All right, let's go through another fucking story time. Here we are. So last night, I'm in the gym. I'm doing my set, right? I
Okay.
can't remember what the fuck I was doing. I might have been doing cable bicep curls or the tricep extensions. Doesn't matter, right? So
I was
I'm
gonna
doing
say
my set.
working out, hopefully.
I would hope. Not many wrestling fans probably are aware of what that is, but working out is
No.
when you go to the gym, burn some calories, you exercise, you build muscle, lose weight, whatever you want to do, right? You can do a lot in the gym. Okay. Well, I was there, and I get done with my set, and I pick up my phone for a second, and I see
Okay.
this logo. It says Crown Jewel Perth. And I laugh because I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is uncreative as fuck, right? I'm like, oh god, I'm like, what is this? And the smile quickly wipes away from my fucking face because I can see that this account that posted this is WWE. As we have here the official logo that WWE dropped, and the official show name, and the official takeover that they announced for Perth. Breaking: WWE returns to Australia this October for Crown Jewel Perth, with Raw and SmackDown also set to take place from the RAC Arena in Perth, Australia. WWE had the opportunity to name this show anything that they could have possibly, literally anything they could have possibly named this show, and they go with a recycled Saudi name that they use every year for Saudi in Crown Jewel, change it from green and purple to red and blue and gold, and put Perth under it. Okay, I may have gave them a pass with Clash in Paris. Not really. I didn't really give them a pass. I kind of shit on that name too. However, here we are again with the most uncreative logo and show name. What the fuck is this? Crown Jewel Perth? That's all you could have fucking came up with for your Perth October show? Not a fan. And also, and I
No.
mean, I'm not a fan of the show name. Well, I'm a fan of the show name. I mean, it worked for Saudi, but that's a Saudi name. You're gonna recycle this
Yeah.
shit for Perth? You could have came up with something so much better, dude. How you feeling about this shit, man?
Oh, I think it's so like ass and lazy, dude. I mean, I don't know if it's TKO thinking coming up with a new name is too expensive or something. I wouldn't be shocked knowing them, but holy recycled just names and shit. It's lazy. It's lazy and it's disappointing. You could do so much cooler stuff with Australia, and they didn't. They did the cheap lazy route and just renamed and reskinned an old logo, dude. It's so annoying, dude. It really is. It's frustrating. And Logan mentions, it could be because of the crown jewel titles.
That's the first
That just
problem.
also disappoints me because that means we're getting that garbage again, and that was a horrible idea last year. Yeah, let's pin our world champions together, and one of them has to lose clean. Thanks. Thanks to making the other one always look so good.
And then people wonder why these titles look secondary. Yes.
'Cause you
Logan
agreed on
says
that.
they are doing the Crown Jewel titles in Perth. Uh that would make sense, but that would make sense why they called the show Crown Jewel, but again, that's our first problem. That is happening again, and that was a horrible idea. Nobody wants to see those giant fucking championships. Nobody who wants to see who wants to see that, bro? You might as well just put Survivor Series back as brand versus brand again then. At that. I mean,
You
why are
damn
we
near.
doing brand and title supremacy? Oh God, Hunter. Oh God. Please don't say that. He says John Cena
Don't say that
versus
in the
Jey
world.
Uso. Oh, brother.
That is evil. Do not do that.
That yeah, completely underwhelming. Again, WWE did Clash at the Castle. Back a couple of years ago in Wales. They did Clash at the Castle, Scotland. Okay, makes sense. Then what they do is Clash in Paris, and if you're going to call a show Clash in Paris, okay, I guess it's a little different from Clash at the Castle. They use the same font. They use damn near the same
Hmm.
logo. They did not make it original whatsoever. They quite literally just recycled Clash at the Castle and just put in Paris. And they recycled the name, and it's completely fucking lazy. It underwhelms, man. The name underwhelms, and it sucks. I mean, it's fucking lazy, man. It really is lazy. So yeah, I mean, they just literally recycled the Crown Jewel Saudi logo and just put Perth under it. What is that?
So lazy.
Very lazy. With that, WWE filed a trademark for the company WWE has filed a trademark for adrenaline drip with the U.S. Trademark Office on May 1st. The trademark was designed to be used by a professional wrestler with the filing stating entertainment services, namely wrestling exhibitions and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer, rendered rendered live and through media broadcast, blah blah blah. I don't know if this is. I don't know if the show is going. I don't know if this is going to be for a show. I don't know if this is going to be for a faction. I don't know if this is going to be for the name of a move. I don't know what it's going to be. But nonetheless, WWE has filed for the trademark Adrenaline Drip.
That's interesting. Only two people I could think of something like that would fit, either Cody or Seth, and I don't know.
Hmm. Ooh. As, lo- as long as they don't, I could, yeah, that would fit the criteria for either guy. I'll tell you right now, as long as they don't fucking name Seth's group Adrenaline Drip, um, that I don't I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know, man. That I don't know. That to me, yeah. I hope they don't name his group Adrenaline Drip. That
That would be evil.
yeah, I don't really know about that one, but we'll just have to wait and see, man. But yeah, so they have filed the trademark for that. Says it's going to be used for a professional wrestler, so it didn't necessarily say it was going to be used for a show or anything like that, but we shall wait and see. So, well, speaking of Seth Rollins' group, actually, we have some news on them and the creative, I guess, behind their group. So, according to Fightful Select, a source near WWE Creative indicated that as of WrestleMania weekend, the plan was for Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman to continue as an alliance without any additions for the time being. The new Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman alliance has drawn comparisons to Evolution and the Dangerous Alliance, but it was not intended to draw any comparisons to those. A source near WWE Creative echoed the sentiment that the stable should become one that other future stables get compared to.
Mm.
So uh the I don't know. I don't know about this. The group is awesome. I think they almost need a third man because
Really wouldn't make sense just keeping the current state forever.
I was gonna say to me that with two guys and a manager, that's a tag team, okay? That's a tag team
Hmm.
being managed by that's a tag team with a manager. You know what I mean? In order for this group to be a stable, I feel like there almost needs to be a third man. And don't fucking tell me Paul Heyman is the third man. He's not the third man. He's the manager of right now,
The two
ultimately,
man.
what is a duo. It's not a faction. You know what I mean? It's, if you don't want to call them a tag team, and it's a duo, right? um I think they need a third man. I know a lot of people, including us, at one point were saying, maybe this can all be aligned with The Rock and all this type of stuff. We did a thumbnail, was it 3 weeks ago on Unscripted? Will Seth Rollins align with John Cena and The Rock? I said it on the WrestleMania review. I thought we were going to see Rollins pop up in the main event of night 2 and fully align himself with Rock and Cena. Not the case. I think we need to drop all that dead in the water, because that's ultimately
Oh
where
yeah.
at this point, with the way The Rock apparently likes doing business, that is where we need to leave that in the water. But now that this is a standalone thing, and they're not going to be aligned with The Rock or John Cena or anything like that, they absolutely need a third man. No matter which avenue you look to it. A lot of people want Carmelo Hayes. A lot of people want Austin Theory. There's a lot of people that want a lot of different, guys in the group. I think the best route for the group to go is adding a third man. I honestly think that is the best case scenario, because again, Fightful says here that a source in WWE Creative echoed that this is going to be something that other future stables get compared to. It's not a stable at that point, though. It's a duo. You know what I mean? If they're not a
Yeah,
tag team, then
exactly.
it's a duo. That's that's what it is to me. I think they need a third man. What do you think? And what do you think? Do you think they need a third man? How do you feel about as of now or as of WrestleMania weekend, there being no plan for a third man? And like I said, do you think they need one? And if so, who are some names you would like to see in there?
The name part is hard. There's so many people that can enter it. But overall, dude, I definitely do think they do need the third man. I think it would, like you said, it's not a faction until you get a third man. It's a tag team. It's a duo. It's a older guy and a younger guy. That's all it is right now. And if you want to make it an actual stable in a faction, you have to get a third man. So I definitely think you have to. And the fact that there are no like plans when they made the group to do a third man is a little concerning, man. Because I don't know where the direction can take the group if that's the case, man. But they definitely do need a third man. That could be a lot of people, dude. Definitely got to be someone younger. I would Drew would be he would mentally fit in that group, but you need someone younger. I think that's kind of the point of this group, or should be the way Seth talks about it.
Yeah.
So it definitely need to be someone like younger and newer. And you got a lot of names you could throw in there, man. But it would just have to be someone younger, someone good, someone that could really benefit from being in that circle. Um, but I definitely think they need a third man.
Um, I actually don't. I actually, I think the guy needs to be younger, and I actually don't know how I feel about McIntyre in this group. I think if you put McIntyre in this group, you're gonna have an odd, pairing for two guys that at this stage in their career should probably be a leader of a group in Seth
Hmm.
and Drew. And I think Drew having to be the third man to the leader Seth Rollins, I think is something that's beneath him at this point. And I also think to legitimize Drew McIntyre's heel run, he does need to come out of this legitimately winning a world championship just to prove all the stuff that he talked about and all that sort of thing right.
Hmm.
So that's just me though. That's just me. That's what I would that's how I would navigate Drew and what he would I guess go on to do without being in this stable. But yeah, I think with the group being, like you said, like Seth talks about, is the future of the company and the vision for the future or whatever. I think it does need to be a younger guy, like I said, whether it is a Carmelo Hayes or an Austin Theory. It needs to be somebody of that caliber, definitely.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is, dude, now that we read that off, I could absolutely see this group being named Adrenaline Drip. Because, dude, Braun Breaker, Adrenaline,
Adrenaline.
Seth Rollins, they used to call him the Drip God. Or I wish I could have forgot those days, but they used to call him. They did used to call it. I can absolutely see this group being called Adrenaline Drip.
That'll be fucking heinous, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Eugh. So speaking of the one of the guys that Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker attacked, Roman Reigns.
This man.
Well, according to WrestleVotes, Roman Reigns is not expected to be at Backlash. We can expect Roman Reigns back on WWE programming around early June.
Oh, Roman.
Well, I guess if you look at where we're at now, we got about another month because I'm sure he will pop up at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. I'm sure, because again, he's not going to be working Backlash. So I'm sure he's going to pop up on whatever Seth's group is doing at Money in the Bank, whether they're in a tag match or, well, that's probably, or whether one of them's in a singles match, or what, I mean, maybe whether, all of them are in a Money in the Bank match or not. Whether all of them or whether one of them is in a Money in the Bank match or not, Roman will most definitely be there to screw them out of it, or to compete in a match, or to against them. Obviously, like I said, he's going to be involved in Braun Breaker, and he's going to be involved in what Braun and Seth are doing. But we got about another month, and I really hope that they can keep the heat for Breaker and Rollins going for another month until Roman gets back. That would probably make a lot of sense why they almost subbed Sami Zayn in for Roman Reigns, is because they probably knew he was going to be out for a month and some change. So, it makes sense. So, I can see Punk showing up, and I can obviously see, Sammy showing up obviously I can see Sammy showing up every week, but I can see, Punk being there, at least every other week and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So, like I said, it almost makes it seem like they sub Sami Zayn in for Roman Reigns to kind of carry the weight that will be missed from Roman Reigns throughout this, I guess, or this whole entire month of May we have until we get to Money in the Bank. So looks like Roman went on another, as you see in the thumbnail, looks like he went on another tribal vacation, and I'm sure we will see him back at Money in the Bank to go up against Rollins and Breaker. But until then, hopefully WWE can keep the steam and keep the pot on the stove for the Rollins and Breaker group.
Hopefully they can, man. I really hope they can. Roman's out for this, month and maybe a little bit more. Not shocked. I was shocked that he wasn't initially, and now it's like, oh yeah, so he is going on vacation. At this point, I don't know why you didn't just send him straight to vacation, because you really had us thinking that we were gonna get the tag match at Backlash, but it is what it is. I expect this from, Triple H and WWE is waiting for stuff to happen, and we're gonna have to wait for this tag match. And I'm excited for when we get it, but not very shocked that we have to wait. I definitely think that Sami Zayn is basically the sub in right now for Roman Reigns. That just makes sense. Um, and yeah, it's frustrating, but it's not shocking at all. It's whatever. And thankfully we'll only have to wait a short period of time.
Yes, this is definitely not the first time we have been accustomed to Roman Reigns' summer vacations. We've had, um, oh my God, I feel like it's been. He actually showed up in 2023 because they were doing the Bloodline stuff, so he was there for majority of that summer. Um, from what I can remember, but 24, 22, 21. Those all those years we've been pretty accustomed to Roman Reigns in his summer vacation, so it's nothing new. But it definitely, again, it is frustrating this time around. But I what I can say is they did, I guess, write him off in a good way. That's what I think. I think they trotted him out there the night after WrestleMania because you needed a way to write him off television, and then you also needed a way to establish Braun and Seth as a pairing. So it made sense the way they did it. It's just frustrating because we all want him around, but he's just not around. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Again, it's nothing. It really is nothing new. So yeah.
Mhm.
So with that, speaking of, speaking of somebody who that same Raw after WrestleMania that Roman Reigns got ridden off of television on, somebody else debuted on that show. That being Rusev, the former Miro in AEW, debuted on the Raw after WrestleMania. What has been the reaction backstage or internally to his re-debut? Well, according to PW Insider, there has been a very warm reaction internally to Rusev's return to WWE. A lot of talent have voiced interest in working with Rusev down the line.
Hmm.
Well, how do you
No one
feel?
would want to work with him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Uh,
so we heard, right? So we heard. He what did they used to say about him in AEW? He didn't want to do business, or he didn't want to do
really doesn't
business. He
want to
didn't want to
over.
yeah, he didn't want to put anyone over. He didn't want to lose. He didn't all this other stuff we heard about him in AEW. How do you feel about this? Does this surprise you that there's a warm reaction to Rusev in WWE? And would you like to who would you like to see him work with down the line?
Very interesting to who I would see him work with. I I could see a potential tag team being formed with various different people. I could also see him in the singles route. It also comes into factor of who comes to what show. We have news later about someone coming in that I don't know you would put them on the same show unless they were in a tag team. You also got Bronson Reed to think about, whereas he's going to put the where and how is really tough to do with Rusev with a lot of those bigger guys because you could really only put at least two to a brand, and you have so many coming back and coming in. It's kind of a mess right now. But I'm not surprised at the warm reaction. Every time people leave AEW, those fans just say, "Oh, they don't want to do business. They just want to go over their ego. This, that they're doing it. They did it to Aleister Black, Ricky Starks, Rusev,
Punk.
eh, Punk. Everybody that leaves, they have the same fucking spiel every time, and it's tiring, man. But not shocked with the warm reaction. I'm very glad he got that warm reaction. And the Who is very tough with all the big guys they got right now. It's actually very tough to see where they all could like align.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, there is a lot of there is a lot of names. There's a so on Monday, I thought they did a beautifully filmed video package for him. And he talked about how, he is here to be the redeemer, pretty much. He's here to redeem other people and basically basically beat the shit out of everybody that has wasted their own potential, because that's what he did once upon a
Mhm.
time. And I thought that was great. I thought they gave him a lot of just great purpose, and I thought they gave him a absolutely understandable and just overall great reason why he's back. You know what I mean? Because sure, you can do what Triple H did with Motor City and just thrust him right into, a title scene. You know what I mean? Sure. I mean, that's the easy way out, right? You can immediately say, oh, Rusev's back. Okay, well, let's throw him in the IC title picture with Dominic, or all right, let's just throw him at Fatu. We'll have him win the US title. They didn't do that. Obviously, they didn't just throw him right in, the upper echelon. They're starting him, with lower card guys, but he has purpose in doing it. He's not just going after lower card guys to go after lower card guys. He's going after lower card guys because of that reason exactly. They're lower card, they're wasted potential in his eyes, right? So it immediately starts him on the bottom rung of the ladder, and it's going to have him slowly climb up and gradually get into whatever he's getting into. And hopefully they follow through with it. I hope they don't drop the ball with it. That's obviously always a possibility that they can do. And obviously we're not really strangers to seeing them drop the ball with people. And hopefully they don't with him, because that's a great purpose, and that makes a lot of sense, being that, again, he himself was wasted potential. So it makes sense. And there's a lot of names he could work with. We talked about it a little bit on Monday. A lot of guys that are wasted potential in the company, right? You look at guys like Santos or Andrade or Chad Gable, a lot of Otis, right? Dude was one of the best parts about television last summer. One of the guys that he's going after now. But there's a lot of guys that, in, I guess, his eyes could be seen as wasted potential, or guys that should be more, being that how long they've been in the company. Sami Zayn, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of guys he could work with, so I'm excited for that. Sheamus, Drew, right? All these guys, I guess, have some sort of failure to their name that he and his character could look at as wasted potential, right? So that possibilities
Hmm.
are endless, and it could create for some really, really, really good storytelling. Yeah, the worm reaction doesn't surprise me at all. Like Sir K said, we hear this every time. Every time somebody leaves AEW, it's they didn't want to do business. They're hard to work with. They don't want to put anybody over. All they do is deny creative is another one we always hear. And then they end up coming to WWE, and then they're just fine. So, doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, most definitely.
So, well, yikes. Speaking of another person on the Raw roster that is sitting in the complete opposite scenario of Rusev. Rusev is on TV. This person is not. Dakota Kai.
Mm.
Dakota Kai has not wrestled on Monday Night Raw since March 17th. She has not wrestled. She has not wrestled at all since the March 24th taping of Main Event. Both matches being wins over American-made Ivy Nile. Kai is a member of Damage Control, but she has rarely been featured over the past month alongside Io Sky, despite Sky being on TV every week as the Women's World Champion. Kai addressed her absence from WWE TV on social media, tweeting that she missed wrestling and she misses you guys. Kai then noted she isn't dealing with an injury, adding, "Not hurt, by the way." This means WWE are simply not using Kai at the moment for some reason, similar to Omos, who has also been benched by WWE, though the company brought him back from Pro Wrestling Noah.
They don't bench people though.
Dude, oh my god. You see, this is why you don't have Nick Khan say these stupid fucking things. This is why you don't have him go out and say these just ridiculously outlandish and stupid things on social media, because now, anytime somebody is not used, people are going to cite what you said and use the word that you said of benched. This is why. This is exactly fucking why you don't say stupid stuff like that. Yeah, man. Man, this is gonna come back and bite him in the ass for years, dude. It really, really, really is. This is yeah, this is no good, man. This is no good. Like I said, this is gonna come back and bite him in the ass for years, and bite the company in the ass for years. Because anytime somebody is not being used, people are going to cite that very interview where you specifically stated WWE does not sign people to bench them.
Literally, as you have people essentially complaining on Twitter about how they're benched for no reason. Great job, great job, guys. It sucks. It's not surprising that people at the end of the day are always gonna get benched, as Nick Khan puts it. Even though they don't. It sucks. Usually it's gonna end up happening though, man. But not a great look for them with what they said over that WrestleMania weekend. It really is not a good look for them to say that and then just continue to obviously do the thing they said they don't do. It's a horrible look for them.
Yeah, it really is. It makes them look like a bunch of fucking goofs, man. Yeah, and this is why you don't. This is why you don't have. What is Nick, the president of the company? I think, or he's
Mhm.
some sort of. I'm pretty sure it's the president. This is why you don't have the president out there saying stupid shit like that. Because again, you're sitting here saying, we don't bench people, and a lot of people are saying, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Really? Because every pay-per-view, I'm pretty sure I see his fucking head sitting front row, right in that one that bottom left-hand corner that you can't see. Every time they go over there, I'm pretty sure that's him that I see in the front row sitting with his son. So, don't he can't tell me he doesn't necessarily know what's going on in his company. And yeah, Dakota Kai is has been benched by WWE. So I honestly think, man, the whole entire reason Dakota Kai is not on television is because they want to move away from Damage Control. And Damage Control should be done. It absolutely should. I think they want to move away from Damage Control. I don't think they want to do it anymore. With EO becoming, basically, with EO becoming a babyface pretty much and becoming as I don't think WWE anticipated EO to become as over as a babyface as she did over the past 5-6 months, whatever. I don't really think that they expected it. I don't know why, because she's always been massively over, but it seemed like it came as a bit of a shock to them. That they kind of just had her in this Damage Control role where she was feuding with the Pure Fusion collection, and she was doing all that type of stuff, and nobody cared for it because everybody was like, dude, why aren't you using EO in a main event role? And then they ended up using her in that main event role, and I don't think they wanted to move forward with Damage Control. So hopefully that can get sorted out, because at the end of the day, Dakota Kai is a great piece to your mid card women's division now that you have a mid card women's
Mhm.
division and you're not using her in that division. And if you are using her, it's in the same fucking two matches over and over and over. It's either Ivy Nile or Lyra Valkyria. Those are the two matches it seems that they are capable of putting Dakota Kai in. Meanwhile, she could be doing stuff with Bailey. She could be doing stuff. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark are still on. They could be a great piece to that women's mid card division, yet they're not featured. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have made a mid card division for your women if you're going to feature 2 or 3 women in that division specifically. I mean,
Oh, literally.
it's just lazy, dude. It's fucking lazy.
How are how are you benching people when you have a women's mid card division now that you should be having to avoid benching people? It makes no sense.
So with that, somebody who could be coming into the company soon, Jeff Cobb. So we knew about this. We knew Jeff Cobb was coming in. But according to WrestleVotes, sources indicate that Jeff Cobb is on his way to WWE. That we already knew. However, he is expected to debut on the main roster very soon. Cobb's name has started to float around within creative.
Hmm.
Jeff Cobb will not be going to NXT. It seems he will be going straight to the main roster. It looks like he got his Pentagon and his Ray Phoenix gig going on. So Jeff Cobb is coming straight to the main roster. I seen he posted something about, 16 years is a long time to work. It's time for retirement, or he said that, obviously.
Why?
Fuel, yeah, lying his ass off. That did nothing but fuel the rumors of him, obviously going to WWE, which obviously we all knew anyway, but um he's coming straight to the main roster, which, he's not retiring. And he is he's an interesting case because, honestly, I would probably say put him on SmackDown, just because Raw has not only, you know, Raw has not only Rusev, but they have a returning Bronson Reed
Hmm.
to come back. SmackDown has Jacob Fatu, and they do have guys like Braun. But Braun's just not that good. He's just not. So, and Jacob is going to be tangled up with all the US title and the Solo Sokoa stuff. So Jeff Cobb could be a nice addition and a nice big monster type of guy to that, just to the rest of the mid card division over there. So I think, I honestly think the best place for him might be SmackDown, man. But what do you think?
Most definitely, I think that might be the best place. You got Rusev, you got Bronson Reed coming back, a lot of big guys, and I think SmackDown has the most open place for him to go, man. And I would say SmackDown. I'm glad he's going straight to the main roster overall. Um, and I definitely think he should. I think SmackDown would fit him best.
Definitely. Yeah, because, yeah, like I said, with Fatu now being the US champion, I'm assuming he'll be, occupied with um
Solo.
Solo and just, whoever else he ends up feuding with Jeff Cobb. You'll probably need somebody on that show that can just be in random mid-card feuds, but also be a big monster on the show that you can kind of just have doing stuff, just doing, I guess, feuds for no championship, at least to start them out. And I think SmackDown would definitely be the place for that, because yeah, with Rusev and then with Bronson Reed coming back on Monday Night Raw, to add a third, big dominant guy on that show, I think that just might overcrowd that a bit too much. But yeah, I would,
Mm-hmm.
if you do end up bringing him in as a singles, I definitely think SmackDown would probably be the place for him right now,
I would think so.
unless WWE does a draft. Which brings me to our next topic. We have the reason why the WWE draft has not been revealed yet. Well, according to WrestleVotes Radio, the annual brand shakeup is expected to take place at some point this year, though no date has been nailed down. They say plans for the draft. Yes, I believe so. One source said on the show that I don't think uh, I don't I don't think you have heard a date, because I haven't heard a date, is what somebody told WrestleVotes Radio. They go on to say the problem is the WWE calendar is already overflowing with back-to-back premium live events and major shows. The calendar gets a little tricky here. WrestleVotes explained, you're going to get Backlash May 10th, then you're getting Saturday night's main event 2 weeks after that, then you're getting Money in the Bank 2 weeks after that, 3 weeks after that, you get the Saudi Arabia show, then a week after that, you're getting the rumored Evolution show, then you calm down a bit before SummerSlam. So they mention how we calm down a bit before SummerSlam, and I wonder
I
if
I think that's when they're gonna do it because you could get away with putting like obviously with Money in the Bank, you got the ladder match. You could put anybody from any brand in those, and I
Mhm.
feel like they're gonna wait till after Money in the Bank to do this draft.
could make sense. That could make a lot of
It,
sense. Yeah.
it makes sense to them. I think you should do it like right fucking now.
Oh yeah.
I don't care that
Well,
Backlash is coming up, and I don't care that this is. Do it now so you have better setup for said shows, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
well, let's say they could have did it this week. So you could have did the draft. Um, you could have did okay. So WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania was, you know, the 21st. You could have done the first night of the draft tonight, May 2nd. You could have did the second night of the draft, May 5th on Monday. Backlash is May 10th, and then everything resets May 12th. They could have did
Like they
that.
did last year.
Yes. And that's what they used to do. That's what they used to do when they would do the
Hmm.
Superstar Shakeup. They would do the Raw after Mania. That next show, that next Monday Night Raw show, was the Shakeup or the Draft or whatever you want to call it. I don't know why. And this is the problem with WrestleMania being so late was WWE would have the whole month of April to, figure out when the hell they wanted to do the draft, which usually would be around the April 20th, the early 20s mark. I could see what you're saying though about the company wanting to do it, that period before SummerSlam. So everything is, everything. So the blow off feuds happen at SummerSlam and then everything resets after SummerSlam and we go into a new, stage to where they want to start building for WrestleMania. I could very well see that making sense. So like pretty much what used to happen where it would be everything resets after Backlash, we're going to basically see everything be reset after SummerSlam. I could very well see that being the case. So I could see Drew McIntyre actually with all the rumors around what Drew McIntyre is going to do and they're going to have him the rumors I've been hearing is they're going to have him go be involved with the US title and Jacob Fatu stuff. Obviously, he's going to lose, film his movie, which we're going to go over in just a second. I could see him then filming his movie and, obviously lose for the US title, get written off TV to film his movie. When we see him back, he's drafted on Raw to go after Jey Uso for the universe. What the fuck am I talking about? For the World Heavyweight Championship. So the Universal title.
Universal title.
So to be drafted back on Monday Night Raw to go after Jay for the World Heavyweight Championship. I could see that being the case, absolutely.
Exactly, man. And what a disappointing way to do the summer for WWE, man. No European shows. We're dealing with nothing but the same roster from before
Man,
WrestleMania. Same aftermath from that. Dude, it's like the whole point of the summer for WWE is the
fresh.
reset. You do
Yeah.
it right at the start of the summer, and the summer is the reset because you have the summer to enjoy the fresh reset,
Hmm.
and then after the summer you got the fall season. It's a little down, but you got stuff like War Games, and then the Mania season starts. And now it's what? Nothing but the fucking basically the summer of the backlash of WrestleMania for the whole summer, and then we get the reset for the fall, and then we're right back into WrestleMania already again. Hey, what a way to fucking lame out the fucking summer.
Well, do you remember we were supposed to get some switch ups at we were supposed to get some switch ups in January.
Yeah,
That didn't
and
happen.
like two happened.
Yep, we were supposed to get it. We were supposed to get it. Honestly, the only one that I can honestly remember moving brands is Bailey moving to Monday Night Raw. That's the only one I can remember
For Drew.
unless Drew. Oh, yes, Drew. Drew switched brands as well. That that
That, that
that's what
and
you
other
had in
than that,
mind?
I think there was like 3 other people that were the most like random, nothing fucking moves ever. It was the most pointless fucking turn of events, dude. And they just
Hell
dropped
yeah.
it. They literally just dropped it, dude. So dude, that man Triple H cannot do, draft, one go into another draft. He cannot do that to save his life. My God.
No. He can't, dude. He can't. It is yeah, we've been through two of these drafts with Triple H, and both of them have sucked. I'll never forget, and I'll always talk about this. I will never forget the 2023 draft when the Street Profits were drafted before the IC champion Gunther. First of all, he's the IC champion. That's the first thing. And the second
He should be
thing,
top 5.
who the fuck is drafting the Street Profits over Gunther in a draft? Who?
Ew.
God.
Uh, God.
Anyways,
I
yeah,
miss when they used to do the network fucking group of people in the room marking out for every fucking person they
dude,
got.
the war
They would fucking
room,
draft
bro.
Natalia and they they would draft like Natalia and start fucking high-fiving and hugging and shit. Oh, that was
Dude, those
so bad.
motherfuckers would draft King Corbin and fucking celebrate as if they just drafted Tom fucking Brady in his prime. Like, dude, what? Oh, those things sucked, man. Ah, God,
You
those
gotta
are
do a Netflix,
horrible.
man.
Man,
Those fucking Netflix dorks.
yeah, that was man, that was something. That was God, those fucking things, dude. Don't miss that. But yeah, so yeah, with honestly, dude, with all this stuff going on, bro, I really think WWE is going to do their reset right before SummerSlam, and then we are going to get the official reset, the Raw after SummerSlam, which, you know, if you're looking at it from if you're looking at it from, if you're looking at it from a perspective of, you know, just what would be the right show to do it after, I would say WrestleMania. Again, WrestleMania, it's
Yeah.
WrestleMania. Unless you're going to do 2 a year, then WrestleMania and SummerSlam I guess do make sense, but but you're doing 1 a year, and that's
Mhm.
that's the situation we're in. We don't get 2 of them a year. We get 1. So I just don't understand why. I don't understand why they moved something like that from WrestleMania to what could possibly be SummerSlam at this point. I really hope we get it sooner rather than later, because again, that's one of the better things about the summertime is the reset, the freshness of it all. So I don't know, man, but that's
Man.
yeah, that's why the draft hasn't been announced, and that's when it's looking like the draft could be announced. So yikes, we're in for a long summer. No European shows, no fresh rosters. Ooh,
What a fucking rough son. Jey Uso is world champion.
oh god.
Fuck, dude.
Ah.
God damn.
Well, going along with the theme of the call-ups, we actually have a little bit on 3 women from NXT that we've been seeing on the main roster: Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez. Earlier this week, from PW Insider, we heard it appears that Julia and Roxanne Perez were being called up to the Raw brand. Julia and Perez wore Raw debut patches on their gear, which will be used by Topps in future trading cards. It hasn't been confirmed that their appearances last Monday were official debuts. So, yesterday, PW Insider reported, as of Wednesday, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, and Roxanne Perez are still listed internally on the NXT roster. Uh,
So
which,
explain what the fuck is going on.
Which is another question I have about the draft. If you do the draft later in the summer, I really hope they announce this thing sooner rather than later. But if you do the draft later on in the summer, and you don't plan to call them up till then, because typically that's what Triple H will do. He'll show somebody for a couple weeks on Monday Night Raw for a week or two after the Raw after Mania, and then they end up getting drafted, right? That's what happened with Dragunov. That's what happened with I think that happened with Indy Hartwell too. Happened with a lot of people. It's something we've known at least Triple H to do. And are we just going to continue to feature them without being called up? I mean, what exactly what exactly are we doing here? Which I could very well see the reason they're showing all of them is to be a part of Evolution 2. But
I think so. Even then, it's like most people, especially just viewers of the main roster, are going to expect these people on regular television sooner rather than later now that you're showing them on your regular television. That's kind of how those things work. That's why you wait until before you call them up to really show them on the main roster because people are going to expect them there.
absolutely. So that's my second thing is why is Roxanne Perez still in NXT? I mean,
She
her of all people, why the hell is she still being internally listed on the NXT women's roster? Dude,
Like, dude, you literally called her up earlier this year. I don't care what people say. Oh, that wasn't an act. That was quite literally a call up, and then they just gave up on it, realized they have no plans, and just put her back down there quietly.
yeah,
Well, tried to at least.
yeah,
You can't tell me she was not called up earlier this year.
yeah,
You can't.
you can't give me that bullshit, bro. I mean, that's how they called Tiffany up. You started seeing Tiffany before WrestleMania, and then she
Mhm.
officially, actually, I think she signed with SmackDown, as did Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker got called up to SmackDown, signed with SmackDown before Mania, and then officially got called up in the draft, or I guess officially got drafted to Monday Night Raw, even though he just signed with SmackDown like 3 weeks prior. But it is what it is.
That's just Triple H draft things.
That quite literally is what they did with Roxanne Perez. We seen her on the main roster feuding with Bayley, and then she went away, and then she showed up the Raw after WrestleMania and is still being listed with NXT. I don't understand. I really don't understand. And yeah, I mean, which why are we seeing them on the main roster in the build to Evolution 2 when are they not going to be fighting NXT people at Evolution 2? Or are they going to be doing main roster stuff at Evolution 2? Because at that point, just fucking call them up to the main roster so they can fight main
Well,
roster people.
it makes no sense to what they're doing now because I'm happy we're seeing them. I want to see them. I want them on the main roster as soon as possible. But if that is not the plan to put them on the main roster that soon or their evolution story to relate to the main roster, why are you doing this here and not on NXT television? Like, what are you doing?
I don't get it. Because, Stephanie Vaquer is the NXT Women's Champion. Yet she's on the main roster fighting Ivy Nile. This is how you're conditioning her for Evolution 2? I mean, what don't you think she should be down in NXT building a feud with somebody so when we get to Evolution 2 she actually has something to do at Evolution 2? Eh, I don't know. I don't know.
I have no clue, dude.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I mean do not don't put them on the main roster if you're just going to play around and have again. Why is Stephanie Vaquer on Monday Night Raw fighting Ivy Nile? Just call her up if you want to call her up. That way she could do something on the main roster. I don't know.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
So speaking of somebody who is actually on the Monday Night Raw roster, was Kiana James. According to WrestleVotes, according to WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, Kiana James is on her way back to WWE programming soon. James is on the verge, if not already, being medically cleared to compete. The company is very high on her, as she has impressed a lot of people with her work in the ring.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys remember, but back before Kiana James got injured, she was set to be involved with in a love angle with Adam Pearce, which sounds
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fucking
Or
hilarious to me. And it's actually something I want to fucking see because it sounds so fucking hilarious. Somebody on the show actively trying to make the GM horny. Um should, should be quite fucking hilarious, and that actually sounds pretty fucking hilarious to go over on Unscripted every Monday. So I don't know if she's gonna be back in the swing of things doing that whole thing, or if they're gonna have her doing something completely different, but Kiana James should be on her way back, and hopefully they find a role for her, man. Well, it says they're pretty high on her, so hopefully they can find a good role for her, man, and hopefully she can get Adam Pearce to keep his fucking dick in his pants. So yeah,
hopefully, man. Hopefully, very interesting story. Oh man, it's gotta suck that when you're like married in real life, they put you in some type of story to where it's some type of like flirtatious relationship s thing with somebody else. Um, I don't know. That's just probably hilarious, dude. But she's coming back. That's good. And I hope she gets used well, man. I don't know about this whole Adam Pearce storyline. I don't know if they're gonna keep it, and I don't know if I would keep it. Um, I mean, it'll be very funny.
that shit'll be
But
hilarious,
good
bro.
thing she's.
I can't
It's good
lie.
she's coming back, man. And I'm very intrigued to see how she does in the ring because they hype it up, and obviously we really didn't get that because she was literally had like 2 segments on the main roster, and then she got injured. Um, so I'm actually very interested to see how she is when she returns, man. But either way, she's coming back. That's good. Yeah, she might be involved with Adam Pearce. She might be seeing him in the office. Don't know what was going down in there, man. But overall, very exciting, man. Very good, and I'm intrigued to see how she does.
Who the fuck wrote that to try to catch my man Adam Pearce up, bro? Like who? who?
Who in the writing room was like, what would be a great fucking idea
we
if she's
gotta
trying to
have
seduce Adam Pearce?
Man, we gotta have Adam Pierce risk it for the biscuit, bro.
Like,
Man.
why?
Oh
Who came
man.
up with that? Who came up with this story is the real question, man. And I hope it's not Pierce.
I certainly hope not, man. I think he's got a wife and a kids, man, or wife and kids. So, um, yeah, I don't know, man. They're trying to they're trying to catch my man Adam Pierce up, bro. So hopefully he beats the odds and doesn't end up risking it for the biscuit, bro. But who knows? Maybe the biscuit will be worth it for Mr. Pierce. But yeah, I don't know. That fucking storyline just sounds fucking hilarious to me, dude. So I don't know if they're gonna slot her back into that, but we will see. We will see.
We'll definitely see.
Sp- speaking of somebody on the women's side again of Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan. Look, I don't know. I don't know who set Liv Morgan up, but
They hyped that shit. up.
Dude, they I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. They did her dirty, bro. They did her dirty. So happy for her, but they did her dirty.
Mhm.
So
Most definitely.
according to Fightful, regarding Liv Morgan's upcoming movie role, people close to Morgan claim that people's jaws will drop when the announcement is made, which should be within the week. Word is that it is a movie that doesn't appear to be on anyone's radar. Okay? Big stakes, right?
Right.
So, PW Insider then reported Liv Morgan's new Hollywood project will see her have a major dramatic role. One source described Morgan landing the role as one of the most impressive gets imaginable, noting that when the studio involved is revealed, along with the caliber of talent both on screen and behind the scenes, it will be clear just how prestigious the project is. Another person described it that the opportunity could cement Morgan as the next it girl in Hollywood if she and the product hit as internally projected. Okay, let's fucking stop right there. The next it girl in Hollywood. Do you know exactly what you're going up against there? Because
Yeah.
there's huh? I mean, come on, bro. Right come on. Man, I'm
That's
not
all I'm gonna say is, come on. There's some pretty steep competition.
that is ridiculous competition, bro. That is fucking ridiculous. Do you know how many female actors are just fucking tremendous at their job and and have been working on this craft for years and years and years? That's one of the most impressive gets imaginable. Then it comes out that according to Deadline, Liv Morgan has joined the cast of Neon's new thriller Bad Lieutenant Tokyo, along with Shun Oguri and Lily James. Morgan will be playing the role of a politician's daughter who goes missing. Production for the film is scheduled to begin in May.
They were hyping that movie up. Like, at first I was expecting an MCU movie or a DCU movie, and then they said it wasn't gonna be like a superhero movie. So I'm like, okay, she just got herself like a Christopher Nolan movie or some shit. And Neon, they're new and they're big, they're interesting, but like this isn't what you hyped up at the end of the day.
Dude,
Like this is not what you hyped up.
they're hyping it up like she was gonna be in the fucking Avengers. She dead ass was gonna be like Spider Gwen or some shit. Like they,
And like,
that's what you make it seem like, bro. And then like you said, they say it's not gonna be a superhero movie. Okay. Well, is she gonna be in a Nolan film? Is she gonna be in Ryan? Is she gonna be in a Ryan Coogler project? Is she gonna be in fucking Jordan Peele's next film? Bad
no,
Lieutenant Tokyo. What?
come on, bro. Come
um,
on, a Neon. I think Neon is who made Long Legs, if I'm sure.
let me see.
Ooh, yeah, what they make? I think they. What films did they make? Ooh, I don't think they did.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Let me see.
They made. They made some.
Let me
I
see.
don't think I've seen any other things
Okay,
yet.
they have made Long Legs. Yeah, they made
Okay.
The Monkey Presence 2073, Long Legs, Cuckoo, Immaculate, um, Infinity Pool. That one looked ass. I remember when I seen the I remember I think I seen the trailer at a movies one time. It was the one where uh it was the one what was it? It was like um the girl's like swimming in a pool and she's playing Marco Polo and she's like Marco and then you hear Polo and then, like I don't know if you ever seen that one but it
I
looked
might
like
have.
shit. I'm gonna yeah I mean none of these films I really remember too well other than Long Legs. Long Legs was really fucking good. Long
That was
Legs was really
incredible.
good. I'll give them that but yeah, I mean those are some of those are some of Neon's films, but not really anything I would describe as it could cement her as the next it girl in Hollywood or one of the most impressive gets imaginable. Do you know what one of the most
Imaginable.
impressive gets imaginable is? I mean, again, you say
Not
some shit
bad.
like that, MCU, DCU, fucking again, like you said, a Nolan film, a Jordan Peele film, something
Something.
like I don't know. I'm happy for Liv, but the dirt sheets or maybe not even the dirt sheets, but whoever told the dirt sheets this kind of thing, man, is really kind of again really kind of set it up, I think, for something that people expected to be a lot bigger. Happy for Liv, very happy for Liv that she did land herself a movie gig, but I think she's gonna do great. It just again, it was just odd because literally the whole week, all we heard was how huge this was gonna be, and this is this is an impressive gig, and not a lot of it's gonna shock. What it is gonna make people's jaws drop. Bad Lieutenant Tokyo.
Uh,
I don't
Twitter.
know. Not
Her
necessarily.
camp really did not do her a favor.
Yeah, not necessarily. I can't say it made my jaw drop. I can't say that.
No.
So, what's going to happen to the tag team titles? According to PW Insider, there are no plans for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to be stripped of the women's tag team tag team championships. Morgan is believed to be in Japan for the next few weeks to film Bad Lieutenant Tokyo. The belief is that she will be back within a month, if not sooner. Well, I mean, I guess she won't be gone that long of a time. I'm pretty sure this puts every Judgment Day plan on hold because,
No
of,
way.
yeah, right? We're going to have to wait even longer for the Judgment Day split. I guarantee you it's going to happen at SummerSlam to mirror what happened
It
last year
yep.
at SummerSlam. At SummerSlam with I could even see
Priest and
us getting Balor versus Uso, and the same exact thing happens that happened last year with Priest and Gunther. Dominic will screw Finn out of the match and then turn on him. So I could very well see that
I
being the
really would.
case.
Yeah, we were waiting till SummerSlam for this whole thing anyway, and you know, you could say, oh, why would they put the titles on them? At this point, dude, we had Roman Reigns as world champ, taking a whole summer off. You really can't say anything about champions leaving anymore. That
Yeah,
that sentiment's kind of dead at this point, man. It's a month. It'll be fine. It's the women's tag teams titles.
yeah,
So it is what it is, man. So at the end of the day, good for her. Think they hyped up the role a little too much, but good for her. Hope it
yeah.
all goes well. And we gotta wait for the Judgment Day story anyway. So really, is not a big impact on television.
Exactly. Yeah, the women's tag team championships don't have much of a presence, anyways. And no, I mean, I'm happy for Liv though. I hope she can get more roles and stuff. As I think I remember her being one of the wrestlers to say they do eventually want to transition into Hollywood. So, the fact
I can see it.
that she is transitioning over there again, I don't know about being the next it girl in Hollywood, but yeah, I definitely think her camp or her friends set her up a little bit too much there, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, she got the role. I'm happy she got the role, and hopefully the movie turns out, good enough to the point where I want to go to the theaters and see it if it is in theaters. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's from the people who made Long Legs, so I'm sure it will be in the theaters. So hopefully it turns out pretty good, man. So happy for Liv, and yeah, hope to see her back soon so they can hurry up and fucking turn on Finn Balor. So
Finally.
speaking
Fucking
of
2.5 years later.
yeah, right. Speaking of films, Drew McIntyre. According to PW Insider, Drew McIntyre is lined up for a major film role. Hmm. Um this
Very interesting.
this like I said goes along with the rumors of Drew McIntyre, being involved at the US title now, but for him to inevitably lose, get written off TV, go away and come back to feud with Jay for the World Heavyweight Championship makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense, man. It makes a lot of sense, and happy for Drew. Drew filmed a movie with Batista a couple years back, and
It
I
did.
didn't even know he was gone for it. I didn't even know he was filming it. It was like he left, but it was like
No,
he wasn't even gone. It was like he was still there the whole entire time. So
even normal.
exactly. So I'm sure for this one though, this probably will require him to step away and actually have a gone presence on television. So but happy for Drew as well. And yeah, hopefully everything works out and hopefully the film ends up being pretty good, man. So yeah, happy for Drew and Liv.
Definitely happy. Hope they're. I'm intrigued to see Drew's. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna say he's gonna be the next Rock in Hollywood or something, and it's a normalized movie role. But
Is he gonna be the next
excited
it guy?
nonetheless. I didn't watch. He's gonna be the next It guy, exactly. Um, I didn't watch the movie with Batista that he's in. I didn't. But intrigued nonetheless, and hope everything goes well.
For sure. So we got some injury news, positive injury news, I guess. PW Insider is reporting that Rey Mysterio underwent successful surgery after tearing his adductor earlier earlier a couple weeks ago, or the week before WrestleMania. The week before WrestleMania, he tore his adductor, but he underwent successful surgery earlier this week. He is now back at his home in California. So good on Ray. And let's see, actually. So tearing the adductor typically takes 4 to 12 weeks. And if it is severe, it can take 12 to 16 weeks. So Ray's gonna looks like he'll be
Mhm.
out at the very least a couple of months. So wish Ray a speedy recovery, and I'm glad the surgery went well.
Definitely glad the surgery went well. Wish him the best and a speedy recovery. And wonder what, I mean, I'm sure she's going to slot right back into the LWO and they're just going to be there. So hopefully they make some better plans for him when he comes back, man. But either way, I'm glad surgery went well.
Definitely, and it actually looks like he probably will not get to be involved in the whole AAA Worlds Collide thing. So I'm sure that,
That sucks.
yeah, I'm sure that that definitely really sucks for him. As speaking of AAA, Jeremy Borash will be working on the WWE side with AAA going forward. This fuels the rumors that Jeremy Borash is going to be heavily behind creative in AAA, which I hear the creative was pretty bad. So hopefully this can be nice for them.
Definitely, I hope it goes well, and I'm very excited to see how they shape up under the WWE umbrella, technically.
Definitely. So with that, as of today, according to PW Insider, WWE has made cuts in several departments, including creative services, photography, and more. Christine Lubrano, who served as Senior Vice President of Creative Writing Operations, departed from the company. The belief is that at least 10 to 12 staffers were cut today. I seen they did cut one of the guys who was on one
Yeah.
of their social media shows.
I remember seeing him always on that. I never watched those shows, but I know who you're talking about. I know his face. I read.
Ryan Popola.
Yeah. I know his face when you see his face, man. But it sucks, man. And I think there's gonna be even more coming soon.
Probably. I see a lot of people saying, they might be cutting talent soon. Um, I can absolutely see that being the case because with all the talent they're bringing in, some gots to go. So,
Exactly.
oh my God. It is just confirmed for Backlash. Pat McAfee
Oh no.
versus Gunther
Yay.
on the pay-per-view
Uh,
card.
on this exclusive,
Yep.
oh so exclusive pay-per-view card. Yeah, we're probably never gonna get another tag team match on pay-per-view all year
Yeah, probably not.
again. Probably not a women's title either. Good lord. Well, we're getting Pat McAfee. Poor Gunther.
Ugh.
Fucking Keith Lee. That tweet is forever goated.
So, before we move on to AEW here, we got one more for WWE. Let's talk ticket prices.
What did I send you guys the other day? It was about ticket price. It was a comparison
Oh, it
for
was.
like raw ticket prices. Hold on. Did I share with no, I shared it. Where is it? Oh, ringside. There it goes. No, the post has been deleted. You fucker.
Well, we got ticket prices for Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. Let's start with Money in the Bank. So,
Okay.
according to one Andrew Baydala, he says, for those interested on the on location and WWE Money in the Bank 2025 Elite and Elite packages for the PLE taking place in Los Angeles, below is directly provided on by On Location / WWE. The Elite Plus packages are currently priced at $29,500 per seat. These are the dead center tickets ringside. Perks are provided in the pictures. He put some pictures under here. The elite packages, which are ringside, are currently priced at $19,500 per ticket. These are the non-dead center ringside tickets. The perks are provided in the pictures. So some of the perks you get for the whole entire package are Money in the Bank tickets, AAA tickets, priority pass experience, ringside photo op, Friday night SmackDown watch party, Pre-show all-inclusive hospitality with superstar experiences, WWE credential and lanyards, premium elite gifting, commemorative chair, gorilla tour with on-stage photo op, post-show press conference access. Oh, that's why. Oh, that makes sense. Post-show press conference access and desk photo op, meet and greets with AAA wrestlers, um, ladder photo op with official briefcase. What? Meet and greet with Money in the Bank winners. Money in the Bank briefcase signed by a
And that contract.
Money in the Bank briefcase signed by a Money in the Bank winner. Film your Money in the Bank predictions and have them posted on WWE socials. And then with the standard elite packages, you get all of that except for the meet and greet with the Money in the Bank winner, the film your Money in the Bank predictions, and Money in the Bank briefcase signed by a Money in the Bank winner.
Imagine paying that last year for Money in the Bank, and you get to meet Damian Priest. Oh man,
I'll walk the fuck out.
that's rough. Oh
For
man, 20? No.
okay.
Oh.
For $29,000 for 30K, I am going to hop that barricade, climb that ladder, and realize my fucking dreams of becoming a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm cashing in that fucking night.
You like $29,000 for dude, what? And they're talking about, you get a tour of Gorilla. You know that is the most quick 5-minute tour ever. Oh, yep, this is Gorilla. All right, yep, let's move on. You know it's not a real fucking experience back there. It's a fucking scam, dude. That's wild. $29,000. Not only better I be the Money in the Bank winner, I better get Triple H's job at that point for $29,000 for Money in the Bank. Dog. Yeah. What has TKO done? Holy hell. Who is paying for that? Is my I can't wait to watch that show, look at them seats, and see who's there. Because that person actually paid $29,000 to be there for Money in the Bank. Crazy.
Yeah. Good God. Now again, these obviously aren't your general seating prices. I did my homework, and the general seating prices aren't available yet, which is weird because they're semi-available for SummerSlam. Not entirely, but I was able to find some stuff around that, and we'll get to that in just a second. But yes, these are your prices for your ringside tickets for Money in the Bank this next month. So, yikes.
What is with the current? And another thing about like the current state they used to be totally good at is you be able to plan and buy your tickets like a year ahead of time.
Yeah.
Dude, the show's 5 weeks away, and you still aren't putting up those tickets yet.
Yep.
Dog, you people don't have time. That we used to compliment them that they used to do that. They would post Mania a year ahead to let you plan. And now you have to wait till what probably is going to be like 4 weeks before the show to buy fucking a $1,300 ticket and then pay $1,300 for the rest of the trip. Good Lord.
Do Money in the Bank. Okay, yep, they go on sale May 7th. So less than a
And when's
month
the
before
show?
the show. June 5th, I want to say.
You have a month to fucking buy. Good Lord.
Oh, no. It's June
Hey,
7th. And they go on sale May 7th. You know, if I can say one thing, and again, we used to compliment WWE all the time with this. If I can say one thing about that Vince era, was I loved how he announced Manias years in advance. I love how he announced, he didn't always announce a date. Sometimes he did, but sometimes he didn't. They loved announcing those shows years in advance. And then With tickets would be on sale fucking 6 months before, the
Yeah,
show took place. We would hear about Money in the Bank tickets going on sale in like August of the year before. In August, we would hear
yeah.
tickets go on sale in October. You know what I mean? Like 6, 7 months before the show.
You need time to prepare, dude. We're not. I can't just buy a ticket, go open the computer, get fucking hotel tickets real quick, and then buy the tickets. That's not what a normal person can do. And most wrestling fans are pretty normal people. Usually are ones that don't like to shower, so they're not completely normal. But overall, financially, they're normal ass people, dude, and they can't do that. At this point, unless they come to your city, you cannot go to one of their shows because it's just too it's impossible.
Yeah, it really is. But so they they have man, they are going to they are going to completely price a lot of their fans out. And when we get to SummerSlam, I want to talk about last year's SummerSlam, because if you guys remember, with how hot the
Hmm.
WWE product was, that stadium should have been full. There shouldn't have been a seat to be had in that arena. Meanwhile, you look up at the 300 section, the nosebleeds, there was not a single seat up there that was not tarped off. Everywhere was tarped off. You could even see a lot of patches in that crowd because
Hmm.
it's expensive, which is crazy because I looked at a SummerSlam price chart from last year, and it actually was cheap compared to this year. And even that
Oh yeah.
couldn't sell out. Um, so SummerSlam this year, according to again Andrew Baydala, confirmed with On Location and WWE, the Elite Plus packages for front row floor seats, center TV side for WWE SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey are $40,000. 40K confirmed. They are sold out of this very limited quantity. So they are already sold out of their 40K seats. This includes premium front row seating, in-ring photo op at SummerSlam, private transportation to events, elite welcome event, a private section at all-inclusive pre-show hospitality with superstar appearances by Kevin Nash and more, post post-show press conference access and desk photo op, tickets to both nights of SummerSlam, tickets to SmackDown and Raw on 8/1 and 8/4, and more. The non-center front row. The non-center front row is just an elite package currently priced at $32,500 per ticket. They include premium front row seating, in-ring photo op, private section at all-inclusive pre-show hospitality with superstar appearances by Kevin Nash and more. Post-show press conference access and desk photo op, tickets to both nights of SummerSlam, but not the Raw, the SmackDown before and the Raw after, and more.
$32,000 doesn't even get you the TV episodes.
So
That is
the first
insane.
fucking comment under under this tweet says, "For 40K, I would want to main event the show."
Like $40,000. I better be the one in the Adam Pearce storyline with Keanu James at that
Oh,
fucking point,
brother.
dude. $40,000. Holy hell, dude. That is a new car, not a used car. That is a new car.
It's a brand new
A
car, paid
very
off.
you paid off, and you're just sitting there at somewhere $32,000, and you don't even get to see Raw and SmackDown in those seats. That is insane. That is a scam, dude.
That, and you get, quite a bit, even for
I
that.
don't know.
is not enough to justify $40,000. Most fucking people don't even make that in a year.
You know? Like, dude, dog. At that point, I better get your whole roster of titles. I better be getting a replica for each and every one of those for $40,000 at the least,
Do
dude.
you know
That
what
is
you can
not
do
a.
with 40K?
You could do a whole fucking lot with $40,000.
And again, these packages are nice. But for that, come on, dog. That's a
Those
scam.
those those packages for 3K. Okay,
Yeah.
those packages would make sense for like 4K. All right. That's reasonable for what you're getting.
Yeah.
$40,000. I better get
40.
that Slim Jim car that fucking LA Knight was driving, dude. I better get so much shit.
Who is doing that? And the fact that they are already
That
sold out even blows my mind
it,
because
it makes it
who?
worse.
Hmm.
Because rich assholes, they're gonna buy it. So WWE's like, well, people are buying it, so let's keep doing it. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
40K. That is insane. So, I got a SummerSlam price chart for you guys. And then I also did my own research to help you guys out in case you guys were thinking about going or whatever. So the official price chart, or the image that I guess has been floating around social media, this is one of the images. This is one of the images that has been floating around social media for the SummerSlam price chart. So, as you can see, this is MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. You have, so the tickets are one ticket to both nights. So this is your 2-day package prices. As you can see, the red here is 1,000 plus, which we have found out to have been about the highest that I figured these would be around. The highest when I was doing
Mhm.
my personal research is around $4,000 for general admission. If you want, these sort of tickets, you go one bracket lower, you're looking at $900. Now this is for both nights, so essentially
Mhm.
around $450 a night. And we go to brown, that's about 800. Baby blue is about 7. Pink is about 6. As we get up to the green here, which is sort of, that's pretty far away. I would say 400, 350, the orange, the purple here. You're in about the 200 section, or high 100 section. You're looking at about 300 to 250. And then you got like this dark yellow for about 200. And your nosebleeds, you're looking at about 150, which I guess is not bad for 2 nights. I mean, you're looking at, what is that, like 75 bucks a night, maybe. I guess it's not horrible. But now when I tell you you will not be able to see shit, you better be banking on some of these tickets not selling so they can upgrade your seats. um
Yeah,
and
literally. You're,
because
man,
yeah,
you better allow monoculars in there.
because if not, you might as well not even go, to be honest. But this is the one that has been floating around. Last night I did some of my research, and the cheapest app that I was able to find these on is SeatGeek. So, got this image here for you guys. So, if you look at SeatGeek here, you can see a lot of these. Now, again, a lot of these are probably resale tickets, which, I mean, isn't bad. A lot of times these bitches end up being cheaper than what you're actually paying. So this is for at least for retail. At least for retail, because these people probably realize how expensive their weekend's going to be and then say, shit, let me sell my tickets. Fuck, I can't sell them for the price WWE's selling them at because they're expensive as fuck. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go on a resale, so they go to SeatGeek, which I believe is where we got our Survivor Series tickets. So I would honestly recommend this because a lot of times people do get desperate and want to dump their tickets off. So, and again,
Mhm.
9 times out of 10 is always going to be cheaper than especially today's prices for WWE. Look at ringside again. This was the cheapest. I searched about every ticket website. SeatGeek was the cheapest. This isn't sponsored, even though maybe we should be. Floor seats for two. This is 2 nights, so this is 2 nights. You're looking at about 1,400, so about 700 a night. Then you're looking at about the better seats you're going to be looking at is 999. These are these ones around the 112 and the 114. These two are $999, so about 500 a night. As you go up here, as you go up and around, you're sort of you're seeing a lot of fives, a lot of fours. You're seeing a couple threes in there, which I guess isn't so bad. You're still 100 section, so you might be able to see a little bit. You're higher up 100 section, but that honestly what maybe have to be done here, because 400, all right, okay, about with fees and shit, that'll probably be around 460. So I mean, what is that, like 220 a night? Not horrible, I guess, for 2 nights. And then as you go up, you're going into you're seeing a couple 200s, a lot of threes, a couple fours and fives around there. For 200, I would definitely go for something around $200 for sure, though. And then the nosebleeds, you're seeing a couple. Well, if you're paying any of these threes, I don't know what to tell you, but for nosebleeds, I would probably be looking at some of these twos and ones. I would not go into the threes for nosebleeds. If you guys were
Oh,
looking for SummerSlam tickets, SeatGeek again. This is not a paid sponsorship. Um, this is not a paid sponsorship. This is what helped me help you guys the most. If you guys were looking for this, SeatGeek was the cheapest I was able to find these for. I did go on a couple other sites, man, and they were not they were not budging with the price. But this was the cheapest that I was
no.
able to find it for, in case you guys were looking to go. So it's not completely horrible for a 2-day pass. Again, gonna be a lot of money. What did we pay for Survivor Series? 420 for those seats. So
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to a
stuff
two
like
night
that.
event, you know, expect to pay around the 3 or 400 mark. If you're anywhere from 3 to 5 if you're looking for good seats at night, which should obviously come out to about 900. So that was the best way. Again, it's not, I guess it's not egregious. It's what we paid for Survivor Series, so it's not horrible. But anybody who paid 40K for these ringside seats, man, I mean, holy fuck, man, I I don't know what to tell you, bruh.
No, I really don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you do for a living. They could just fucking pay $40,000 for some fucking ringside tickets, man, for fucking Money in the Bank and SummerSlam and shit. But yeah, good for you, I guess. Horrible for TKO. Well, good for them, but horrible for the fans. And yeah, man, ticket prices are expensive, and hopefully they end up going down in the future, dude. That's all I hope for.
Hopefully. But yeah, not again, I don't know what WWE's general admission was for those kind of seats, but yeah, like I said, if you're willing to go there and sit in, you know, normal seats that people can somewhat afford, you're looking at about 3 to 500 a night for a decent seat. So, guess it's not, again, not
Hmm.
egregious, but definitely could be lower. For sure. But so, with that, speaking of a sponsorship, W Energy. Dubby is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. Dubby is a clean formula that is sugar-free, 0-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your Dubby products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next Dubby purchase. As always, thank you to Dubby.
Truly, always got to shout out Dubby, man. Whether it's work, workout, anything you may need it for, or need the energy for, Dubby's always got you. It'll be jitterless, it'll taste good, and it'll keep you energized.
There you have it. So, as always, shout out to the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP, W Energy. All Elite Wrestling.
Yay.
Well, let's start with the first semi-WWE news, I guess. According to the U.S. Trademark Office, WWE abandoned the trademark for the name Edge, but has very quickly reacquired the name after it was noticed online. Did you want to see did you want to see Cope go to Edge? Or are you sort of wishing that WWE would have let the trademark go so he can not be Cope anymore?
Truly, I really don't care. I don't care whether he's Cope or Edge or Copeland or Cope. But I think Edge would have been the best possible way to go, and it sucks that they did just scoop it up. That they're not gonna use it. They only scooped it up so he can't use it. So it is what it is, man. It sucks. I'm used to him being Adam Copeland. The Cope part is still really dumb, obviously, but it is what it is. He's not that prevalent on TV at this point, so I'm not really tripping about it. And it sucks for him.
He's the most dastardly
that is
actor
true, man.
Shivani's ever seen.
Yeah, he really is evil, pure evil, man. But yeah, man. So it would have been nice for him to get it. I think it would have been better for him to get it, but it's really not a detriment that he didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I would have loved for him to pick that up. Again, I don't mind Adam Copeland. I don't mind Cope as a nickname. I don't like that. I don't like Cope as his name, but like to call him Cope as a nickname is one thing. For his name to be Cope, I think is kind of dumb. But Edge, I would have loved for him to get the name Edge. I think it's an iconic name, right? Yes, we would have had Edge and Christian. Now we have Cope and Christian. But
Christian Cope.
so we have Cope and Christian. So I would have loved for him to get it, but WWE scooped it back up. Obviously, they probably didn't even know it expired or it lapsed, but once it got noticed, they obviously scooped it back up because obviously I'm sure they don't want to lose that intellectual property. So it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, not the end of the world. I would have loved for him to get it, but it ultimately is not the end of the world. So yeah.
No, it's really not.
I did have me a good cry about it though. Just thinking about Cope. So let's talk about where does she come from? I think Stardom. Hold on. Okay, yes, Stardom. According to Fightful Select, Thekla's agreement with Stardom has expired, and she is effectively headed to the U.S. Those spoken to within AEW believe Thekla is headed to the company. WWE had their eye on her around the time they had signed Julia to the company. looks like Tony Khan is going to be getting another massive get from Stardom, as he has Mina Shirakawa coming in as
Mm.
well, who I believe is from Stardom as well. So, um, he's got another Joshi coming in. Um, uh,
Oh,
that
Tony Khan.
what can you say, man? I mean, if you look at quite literally everybody he's brought in recently, even one name that actually pains me that's being currently lost in the shuffle. Look at Speedball, look at Josh Alexander,
Mhm.
look at Kevin Knight, look at who else? I mean, who else has he brought in? Mina Shirakawa is probably going to get lost in the shuffle as well. He's going to take out his Mariah May pain on Marina. I could see it
Oh,
already, or on Mina.
oh,
Um,
1000%.
I hope it works out
And
for her. I'm glad she got the bag. I know she got a bag. I'm pretty sure that's why she's coming over in the first place. But I hope it works out for her. I hope they use her. I hope she doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Does not have a good track record with this whole thing though. So, um, hopefully, everything works
exactly.
out.
I hope so. I hope so. They do have a really good women's division. They kind of spam the same like four people. So hopefully, she can come in and maybe change that depending on how good she is and how much they use her and how they use her. Um, it's all in Tony Khan's hands, and he usually doesn't do good with these type of things, man. So I'm just wishing the best, man. Hopefully she gets used, and hopefully we get to know her. Oh, another one that came in was what's her name in the women's division? Just,
The one that
shit.
was just on Dynamite, right?
No. She had the match
Megan
with
Bain.
Tony Storm. Megan
Megan,
Bain.
yeah.
That was
Where the fuck is Megan Bain at?
Ooh,
Wow.
look what you did with Megan Bain. She came in. The Twitter said it was going to be hype. It was not hype, and we didn't get an explanation to this or that or nothing. No, sit down, nothing with her. And then she came, she had her match, and she's gone. Probably going to be the same thing at the end of the day. I hope it's not. I
Whoa, whoa,
never
whoa, whoa,
hope
whoa,
it
whoa, whoa,
is.
whoa.
But
Hold the fucking
whoa,
phone.
whoa,
I forgot.
whoa. Okay,
She is
okay.
feuding with the returning and not lost in the shuffle, Anna
Well,
Jay.
good Lord. Um. What a power couple. Hannah J, Jack Perry, what a mid card power couple. But man, I'm just wishing the best. Yeah, I'm just wishing the best for all the people coming in. Mina's coming in. I would have thought she would have had an advantage because we kind of know Mina, but with Mariah May leaving, I genuinely think Tony Khan's gonna take his frustration out on her booking, and for whoever's coming in now, don't know how great it's gonna be.
Yes. My apologies if you guys heard any noise. There's some people working on the fucking fence right next door. So,
I don't hear nothing.
oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I figured I'd just rather be safe than
Like
sorry.
this,
So,
and you fucking dogs next to me.
yeah, like why are you working on a fucking fence right now? And like
5 in the morning or 5 afternoon on a Friday.
what is going
Enjoy your
on?
Friday.
Okay. So okay. So with the next bit of news, AEW has announced a plethora of shows for the 2300 arena.
Mm,
So, like I said, AEW has announced a bunch of shows for the 2300 arena, the old ECW arena in Philadelphia. They have announced
mm,
7 shows. Yes, 7 shows.
damn.
6 of them being for AEW. It looks like Dynamite will be staying there for 3 episodes, so they'll be there for 3 weeks. This will be their home. So, All Elite Wrestling have announced the famous 2300 Arena with a multi-week residency of AEW Dynamite and Collision tapings later this year, alongside ROH Death Before Dishonor. The residency will be AEW's first time at the historic venue. You know, when they announced Death Before Dishonor at the 2300 Arena, my first question was, where the hell is your AEW Dynamite taping from this location? Because it was a hot crowd for NXT, and Philly's always a hot crowd, but I guarantee you it's going to be a hot crowd for AEW as well. They did it. Good on Tony Khan. This is going to be a great 3 weeks of atmosphere, and I think this is going to be very fun.
I think it is. I think it's gonna be fun. I like that they had to, downsize with their ticket, or their arena sizes. That always sucks. But I do like the way they ended up doing it, where they downsize and they go to really cool, overall cool looking locations for the time being. And I think it's good, and I think the atmosphere is gonna be really good.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, with our final news story for the day, Mercedes Moné. According to Fightful, regarding speculation of Mercedes Moné having creative control to make sure she wins matches, sources in the know within AEW have denied that type of thing has ever occurred and have never heard of Mercedes having creative control. Let's hold on to that part. A source familiar with both said she hasn't turned down losing because losing hasn't even been broached. Both companies have plans to push her heavily. Okay.
That's an insane way to talk about it.
Hold up. I have a report here from June 28th of 2024. Mercedes Moné tells TMZ she has creative control in AEW.
I was just watching that earlier.
So let's stop that right there. Honestly, dude, the problem with Mercedes, to me, it's not even the fact that she wins. It's the fact really that she's so she wins so much. It adds this level of predictability because there's no story behind anything that she's done. And it really is just matches that she wins. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I honestly think I really want to come back to this after Double or Nothing. Because if Athena costs her that match and she loses, which is the right outcome, then that's one thing. If she goes in there and beats Jamie Hayter to probably inevitably go on to beat Toni Storm, then we'll have a real problem. Also, if she goes up against, let's say at All In, she let's say she loses Double or Nothing, does the right thing, gives that win to Jamie Hayter, then goes on to battle Athena. She got a win against Athena. I just really hope Athena would get her win back in Texas, being that it's her hometown and she did the company the ultimate service for sitting in Ring of Honor for 2 years. I would really hope the company would want to reward her with being, the first person to pin Mercedes clean, because sure, Jamie Hayter will pin Mercedes clean, but Jamie Hayter's win will be because of an Athena interference, right? I don't mind that the company wanted to keep her unbeaten, but here's the thing. We're coming up on the biggest show of the year, All in Texas. I feel that would be the time to beat her clean. But even before that, Jamie Hayter has to beat Mercedes Moné, or else
She has
you're
to.
not beating these allegations that I'm reading right here. And if that is the
Yeah.
case, and Tony Khan is just mindlessly booking victories with just the idea of, googly eyed for Mercedes Moné, then we have a fucking problem, because you're ignoring a match that a lot of people want to see that has a lot of story with Jamie and Mercedes. You're passing up on that for something that ultimately has no story in a Mercedes Moné win streak that has had no story involved at all in the win streak. So to me, Mercedes' problem is not winning matches. Mercedes' problem is the lack of investment in these matches.
Hmm. Exactly, man. It's one of those things where it's not a long, undefeated title reign streak that naturally happens. It's one that they're trying to make happen, and those are hard to watch. Look at Gunther's IC title reign. That naturally got to itself to be a long point where it gets to a point where you look back and you say, "Oh wow, they've been champion for a minute. They're actually coming close to said record." It's quite the opposite of from the beginning. You know that's all they want to do is set a record or get a massive win streak, and it gets annoying to a point. It's not a natural, undefeated long title streak. It's a forced one. Um, and those are always very tough to go through. There was a period where Roman's reign felt like that. And there was periods where it didn't feel like that. Um, and those happen a lot, and it's really a matter of Tony Khan, the way he books it, and Mercedes' investment into these feuds and matches. Like I said, if she gave the investment, really cared about the story for each match, people really wouldn't think about it. It would just be good story, she wins, next good story, she wins. It wouldn't be till you get to a point where people look back and say, wow, she's actually been champ for a minute. That's crazy. But it's one of those where we knew from the beginning it would be this long, and it's tiring. It gets to a point where you don't want to see this thing anymore. Um, and it sucks, man. And I think Double or Nothing, like you said, is going to be really the teller in all this, man, if she wins or not. Jamie Hayter should most definitely win. Most definitely should face Tony Storm. And Mercedes should go on to lose to Athena, man. And I hope that's the events they go with. And, you know, the allegations aren't going to look good if she wins, goes on, beats Tony Storm, just to hold another title that she's not doing anything with at the end of the day, man. So it's really up to like Double or Nothing to really show the true cards.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And yeah, I really hope that this isn't coming out now, because they plan on having Mercedes win and they wanted to feed the dirt sheets, being that AEW is pretty close to Fightful, feed the dirt sheets some sort of damage control on Mercedes Moné so
Mhm.
the backlash isn't as bad. Because I'm telling you now, man, if Mercedes wins at Double or Nothing, you
Ooh,
have done two things completely wrong in this whole situation. You screwed Jamie Hayter out of finally coming back to some sort of prominence, if you could even call it that, since she came back and returned at the pre-show of All In last year. And the second thing is you had Athena, somebody who I think they said was 64-0, lose for no rhyme and no reason.
for like 11-0, like insane, dude, insane favoritism.
Which then I will question, why in the blue hell was Athena even put in the Owen to begin with? Because, look, she took her loss. I was okay with it, under the sentiment of she's got to get the lick back and cost Mercedes the main event, or the finals of the Owen. Makes sense. Then you do, you know, title for title, Athena versus Mercedes at All in Texas. Okay. Okay, I'm okay with that. You have Mercedes win that and just go on to, face Toni Storm. You actively blew up those two things, and you actively did a disservice to two women who people really like and really want to see in AEW that you do a shit job of featuring, in my opinion, in Athena and Jamie Hayter.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Oh,
a
most definitely. They do. Mm-hmm.
you have a big decision to make, and it's a real easy one if you ask me.
Oh, it should be really easy, man. Very clear cut direction for both, stories, both matches at All In, and I hope they do it right, man, because I think there's a good chance they don't do it right, and it's good. Things are gonna blow up when they don't go right.
Yeah. So that is that. And like I said, you know, again, I can't really blame them for not wanting her to lose because, having her as, I guess, a, undefeated presence, going into the Owen, to build the story with Athena and Mercedes. Okay, I get that. I could see why the company didn't want her to lose because she's Mercedes Moné. It's just the investment behind it is the killer. It's not her wins. It's her
Mm-hmm.
stories that she's had. Is they've just
Yeah.
that there's been a lack of. It's literally just been matches. Stat versus Monet 2 literally happened because Mercedes came out there and just asked her to run it back. What the fuck is that?
And it's not like they had some like insane banger of all bangers where everyone's been like, "Oh shit, that match was so good. We got to see another one." It was literally just a normal ass match.
I thought their
Like,
match at Full Gear was a banger. I thought so. But
I thought it
to,
was good,
to do the
but it
second
wasn't
one
what it.
like that with I thought
Yeah.
there could have been more story behind it, but I mean, their match at Full Gear was probably one of the better women's AEW matches all last year, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Most definitely, but it wasn't that big to where it was one of those, "Oh, let's run it back," and the crowd goes crazy. For an
No,
AEW crowd, they go crazy, but
no match is ever big enough for you to just walk out there and say, "Run it back." That is quite literally the dialogue that she gave. She literally walked
li-
out there and just said the words, "Let's run it back."
literally the only match off the top of my head in recent memory, which isn't very that recent anyways, is like fucking Gunther and Dragunov. They could go on Raw, do that, and they wouldn't do that because they would make a story out of it. But
Yes.
you'd be like, okay, they those two go crazy in the ring with each other. The match was really good. Wasn't that crazy?
And it's not hard to do. You could have had Stat go out there and say, she knows she can beat her. All she needs is one more shot. Literally anything. You had the champion go out there and say, "Let's run it back." When are we going to run this back? Are you fucking kidding me? So, I don't know, man. It's something that I really hope AEW is not doing as damage control for what is about to go down. But I could say right now, man, it was never about Mercedes winning for me. It was about the investment behind what she was doing that lacks.
Hmm.
So I think Double or Nothing is going to be the tell all, man. Is she willing to lose to Jamie Hayter? Whether it's by hook or by crook, is she willing to lose to her or not? And if she's not, just to get a women's title match with a match that does not need to happen right now because the
Man.
Tony Storm and Mercedes, it's just not time for that. Is she willing to do the service for Jamie Hayter, or are we going to see a selfish act? In my opinion, man, and whether it's by her or whether it's just ridiculous booking by Tony Khan, Double or Nothing is going to be the tell all for that. So yeah.
Oh, most definitely, man. Most definitely.
So yeah, that is that. And that is going to do it for this edition of the news. This has been episode 264. This has been episode 264 of the news, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Yeah, that is going to do it, man. And that is, or it has always been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it, Jesus, for this edition of the news. This has been episode 264. Thank you to everybody. Durante, Bell, my man, Hunter. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Did I say Manager Logan? Yes, I think so. That is going to do it for this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. And with that, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all on Monday after Raw with NHP Unscripted.
Peace.